Hey guys, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Samantha, and in today's video I will be talking about my love and hate relationship with breastfeeding, what my breastfeeding journey has been like so far, what my pumping schedule looks like, likes and dislikes that I have about breastfeeding and pumping. Also, I'll probably share a couple of tricks that I've learned just for saving time and better feeding when it comes to breastfeeding and pumping. I'm gonna first start talking about breastfeeding, and yeah, I'll first start talking about breastfeeding and then we'll work our way into pumping and what that's been like since I'm doing both. I'm breastfeeding and pumping. At the moment I am currently breastfeeding my baby, so if you hear any weird noises, any suckling noises, that is her. I've been breastfeeding for like 2 hours now. She's still not asleep. But breastfeeding is hard work. I respect those women who breastfeed their child past 6 months, past a year, past 2 years. Like, I give it to you. I respect the hell out of you. Anyways, yeah, breastfeeding is hard work. It's a lot of work. It's not easy. What you see in movies when they just pull out their boob and they're feeding their baby, like, that's not it. Like, it's a lot of work. It's demanding, it's exhausting, time consuming. If you're a first-time mom, or even if you're not, it's a learning process because each baby is different. You know, you have to have the patience for that. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that I get to feed my baby with my own breast milk, and I don't have to come out of pocket for that. I'm happy that I get to bond with her and build this relationship with her. I think I'm only gonna breastfeed her till maybe 6-7 months, but again, who knows. But for now it's gonna be 6 or 7 months. So yeah, like, I'm happy about that, but it's still a lot of work and it takes a lot of emotional health. You have to be open to learning, have to be patient. You know, everybody always talks about how hard labor is, but breastfeeding is harder. You're breastfeeding from the moment the baby is born up until 6 months of their life, or even longer. I'm currently breastfeeding and pumping, and you can just imagine how time consuming that is. I am currently pumping every 2 to 3 hours, and because I have a newborn, she's 1 month old, I am basically feeding on demand, so she can feed anywhere between 1 hour to 4 hours. Yeah, or multiple times within an hour. So yeah, so during the day, I typically will not let her sleep past 3 hours. I will try to wake her up. I will change her, feed her, and see if I'm able to feed her. Sometimes I can change her and she'll stay sleeping because she's tired and she's a newborn. I'm gonna let her sleep. But if I'm able to wake her up, I will do so past the 3 hours, so that she's not up in the middle of the night, because she tends to be up between 12 to 4 o'clock in the morning. Those are her favorite time to be up, and yeah, those are her witching hours. She's still wide awake. So at first she was mostly just, ooh, that's why. At first she was mostly just bottle fed. As soon as I got home from the hospital, I started giving her a bottle, and then I would give her my breast like once or twice. Mainly through the night I was giving her my breast, but she was good with the bottle. She was taking both, no problem. But lately she does not want the bottle. She refuses the bottle as much as she can. She will refuse it. She will take up all the milk and just spit it out and just waste it. Still do offer her the bottles when she's hungry, and to be honest, it does waste a lot of milk, but at this point I don't care. If she takes one bottle, it helps me out tremendously. It helps me, it helps my nips. So yeah, at this point I don't care. I don't mind breastfeeding, but I also want her to be able to take the bottle. I want her dad to be able to feed her. I want to be able to have some me time when needed. I want her to take the bottle for if I'm not home, for when I go back to work. Like, you know, it's important for her to take the bottle. Sometimes she's not even hungry. Sometimes she just wants to be close to me, and that's okay. But if I'm busy, if I need to do something, then it makes it difficult to do anything, because I have this part of my body and I'm not able to use it. My hands are occupied, you know. I would have to sit down and be with her, and you don't always have the time to do that. I can't be the only thing that suits her. As much as I would love to, I can't, because I have other things that I have to do. I think she's hungry still. Another thing that no one ever talks about is baby's razor blade nails. Like, she scratches the out of me. My breasts are full of scratches, and why is she so aggressive when she's drinking milk? She's getting what she wants. Why are you so aggressive? Like, I can cut her nails, and by the next feeding she's right back at it again, clawing me in. Getting baby to latch, it's not something that you just have to worry about when the baby comes out. Like, it's something you have to worry about all the time, especially if you're one of the girlies that have the bigger breast. That's something that we worry about every single time. In the beginning, when you're getting used to baby feeding on you, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna feel weird, it's gonna feel uncomfortable. Your nipples are gonna be sore, they might even be cracked, but after a while it does get better. But from time to time your nips still do feel sore. If my baby is cluster feeding and feeds multiple times within the hour, my nips get sore. Sometimes I can't pump right away, or I have to wait 3 hours to pump. Breastfeeding and pumping makes you thirsty, makes you hungry. So now I always make sure that I always have water and snacks. I keep some by my bedside. If I'm going to be, I normally pump upstairs in the room, so my station for the most part is always prepared. But if I'm going to be pumping, or I'm going to be feeding her somewhere else, I make sure I set up my station. Normally I will pump for 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes I do pump for longer if I feel like I'm still, like, milk is still coming out and my boobs are not empty yet. I'll continue pumping. I think the longest I've ever pumped was like 30 minutes. But when it comes to breastfeeding, I never know how long I'm gonna be. It could be 15 minutes, it could be 2 hours. I'm still feeding her. It's been definitely longer than an hour. It also makes you really sleepy. Sometimes I have to fight myself not to go to sleep with her. Like, I will nod off and I'll start going to sleep with her. She's not tired. She's been up for like 2-3 hours now. She's not tired, and she's just been eating away. But yeah, it makes you sleepy. And you know, when you don't have anything to do, you could just lay back, take that contact nap with them, and it's great. But when you have stuff to do and you're feeling tired and you still have to feed, and then in 2 hours you still have to pump, girl. My sleeping schedule is up right now. I literally go to sleep like maybe 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I am trying to get into a routine so that at least I can go to sleep earlier, and then when she is up during this time, I can not be as tired the next morning because I've already slept some. So yeah, I'm trying to wake up earlier. I'm trying to be up in the mornings. I'm trying to eat breakfast at a normal time that's not 2 p.m. I'm trying to have 3 meals a day. Like, time goes by so fast because I wake up so late and I go to sleep so late. What else? I want to be able to have like that time that I used to have in the morning for myself. So trying to beat her to wake up. Usually in the morning she sleeps a lot, so I just need to wake up a little bit earlier than her in the morning, and that's pretty hard. So I did write like a little pro and con list to a breastfeeding and to pumping. So I'm gonna go off and just read that off because I wrote it down. So for breastfeeding, some of the pros are it's free. I get bonding time with the baby, no prep, just take the boob out and feed baby. The cons are the nipple soreness. Baby feeds for more than an hour sometimes. Getting baby to latch. If you have bigger breast, you always have to worry about the latch. You have to make sure the latch is good and you're not suffocating the baby with your breast. Yeah, and I've noticed that since sometimes when she takes the breast, she'll take less milk, so she is feeding more often, as opposed to me giving her a bottle of 3 ounces. When she takes the breast, she'll take like an ounce, go to sleep, wake back up, 2 ounces, like, you know. And yeah, when she takes the bottle, she'll take the 3 ounces right away. Okay, so for pumping, the cons are the sore nips again, and it's time consuming, and then you have to keep cleaning the pump parts after basically every pump session. There is a little trick that you can do. You take the pump parts that you're using, and let's say overnight you don't have time to wash the pump parts, you can just store it in the refrigerator, and then when you're ready to pump again, just take it out of the Ziploc bag and use it. That saves a lot of time. Some of the pros for pumping, the baby will take the bottle and somebody else can feed the baby, and that's free time for you, and you know how much the baby's getting fed. So yeah, that's basically it for the little pro and con list for both.
You're not ready to go to sleep, bro.
She's not. She's been up and she's full of energy. So some of the things that I've learned so far is that milk supply will go up and down. I don't pump the same amount every single day. One day I will pump 80 plus ounces. The next day I will pump 100 plus ounces. Like, I don't pump the same amount every day. It's important to try to stay on a schedule, especially if you're trying to like build a little stash or have like milk for emergencies or whatever the case is, because basically your body works like supply and demand. The more you demand, the more your body is going to supply the milk. So it's important to stick to a schedule. Also, super important that you're emptying out your breast, whether you're just breastfeeding or you're pumping at the same time. It's important because, again, supply and demand. So if your breast is not empty and you still have milk there, your body's not going to produce more milk. It's going to think that you're good with the amount of milk that you have. So empty out your breast, stick to a schedule. Remember, milk supply goes up and down. So what you pumped yesterday is not what you're going to pump today. Also, make sure you're staying hydrated, because if you're dehydrated, you're not going to get that much milk. It's going to affect how much milk you pump out. So real quick, I did just want to give a little postpartum update. I did not wait the 6 weeks. Do not be like me. Wait the 6 weeks. Wait till you see the doctor. But yeah, I didn't wait the 6 weeks. Remember, my stitches did dissolve and all of that. And I felt pretty good and confident to do so. So I did so. For the most part, everything felt the same. Like, I didn't feel any different. I still don't know how it looks down there because I haven't took a peek, but I will soon before I go see my doctor. But yeah, everything felt the same. I didn't feel like any dryness or anything like that. I didn't have any issues with that so far. It felt the same. It felt great, and it felt good to not have a belly anymore in the way messing up the group. I will be going to see my doctor soon, this upcoming week. And also, I already got my period, because remember, I stopped bleeding and then I started having like discharge, and then the discharge kind of tapered off and I wasn't bleeding or having any discharge. So, you know, I felt comfortable to do it. And later on after that, not the same day or the day after that or anything like that, I would say like a couple days after that, I started to bleed again. And yeah, that was my period. I thought for some reason it wasn't gonna come right away, because they say that if you're breastfeeding and pumping or whatever, that it can delay when your period is gonna come. But I guess mine did not want to wait, and it came. So I already got my period, and it kind of lasted pretty normal, like how it was before, just a couple of days. I am gonna go ahead and end the video there. I do just want to say that remember to take it easy on yourself. All of this is a learning process, and things work out the way it's supposed to work out. Remember, stick to a schedule, supply and demand, and fed baby is the best. Whether that's formula, breastfeeding, pumping, fed baby is the best. At the end of the day, your health and your baby's health is what's most important. So, in that note, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Good night.